Welcome to the Midlife Leap, a lifestyle talk show for women in midlife, sharing tips and interviews on topics ranging from business, career, current news, fashion, shopping, health, travel, and so much more. Please subscribe to this channel so you'll receive alerts of new episodes. And like this video so that other midlife women just like you will be alerted by YouTube to check out the Midlife Leap show. Are those buy now and pay later offers becoming more and more enticing? Retailers from Amazon to Walmart and apps like PayPal and Klarna are letting shoppers use this modern day layaway plan. And to my surprise, even landlords and utility companies are offering buy now and pay later options. Now, if you're not familiar, buy now and pay later plans allow buyers to spread out the cost of buying items with a fixed repayment schedule over an agreed number of weekly, biweekly, or monthly installments, and often without paying interest. Kind of better than a credit card these days. And millions of people are taking advantage of these plans. These plans are an effective way to spread out the expense of a large purchase, but you must use caution because you might end up buying things that you simply don't need because you can pay for them later. And impulse buying can put you over your budget. Now, like credit cards, if you miss a payment, some plans, some providers will charge late fees as much as like between $5 to $10 or as high as 25% of the transaction. And if it's reported to the credit bureau, it could lower your credit score. Now that's like credit cards. Now, if you must go on a buy now and pay later shopping spree, do it wisely. Are you a business owner seeking qualified communication professionals? Or maybe you want to offer your marketing skill sets to a company? Well, our guest, Courtney Culmer, is a proud HBCU alumni with close to 20 years experience in communications and marketing for Fortune 500 companies such as NCR Corporation and ESPN. Her career has given her a unique perspective of the pain points and opportunities for both companies and freelancers, and her passions for connecting people, creating value-based solutions, and helping underrepresented groups succeed led her to found Uplevel. Uplevel is an online job marketplace specifically focused on the marketing communications niche. Courtney, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you today, Sunita.
So tell us, what led you to find Uplevel?
Yep. So the journey begins out, as you mentioned in the introduction, I'm an HBCU grad and shamelessly from a graduate of Florida A&M University. And one thing, if anyone in your audience knows a rattler, is we're going to find a way to bring them into the story. So starts on the highest of seven hills in Tallahassee, Florida. And I was a journalism major. And so, throughout my college career, got extensive experience. I had quite a few opportunities in the television space. Left there, went on to get a master's degree in integrated marketing communications. And really that just sets the stage for the background of more or the genesis of my professional career. And so I went into work in corporate communications. I spent about a decade working at various Fortune 50, Fortune 500 companies in corporate communications, typically in very integrated marketing and communications roles. And admittedly, maybe in some of your less sexy industries like aerospace and defense or IT services. And after doing that for about a decade, I made the leap. It wasn't quite a midlife leap, but it was, let's call it a quarter life leap. And I started then my own consulting practice, which, I always like to say I really did the same things that I did in my corporate career. I just had the freedom to do it for various different companies and clients, and to some extent on my own terms. So I had this business. It was called C Squared Group. We were really a comprehensive communications consulting firm, and I had it for about 6 years. And then in 2020, and most people probably think a story that starts with 2020 is we're gonna talk about the global pandemic. But in 2020, for me, I actually had a baby. That was my major life event. And so while experiencing some downtime, I had my baby 3 weeks before lockdown. Then we go into a lockdown period. And so really I just, had some, as an entrepreneur already at that point, we're kind of almost always bored. And so, I guess I felt bored with a newborn baby. And I kept having clients though who would call me to do work and take on projects. And my answer was just, I'm not working right now. And I would get that's not abnormal. Sometimes while consulting and having work, I would get called and asked to do a project that I couldn't do because maybe I was already maxed out at my capacity. But what happens when giving that response, it's always followed by, well, do you know someone? And then it's kind of this, oh, I'll think about it. And then you just kind of ghost them and pretend nothing happened. And then maybe in a few months, you'll see if they found anyone. And so really, in that time that I was home, like many people in 2020, I really sat with it and kind of, reflecting on, various interactions I had had in my professional career, whether on the corporate side or as a freelancer, where conversations and statements were made where it was, I wish there was somewhere that I could go to find, and you could fill the blank in with any number of things. It might be, my corporate days, it was, I wish there was somewhere we could go and just easily find someone who understood our industry. Because like I said, I did a lot of work in aerospace and it's kind of technical. It's hard sometimes to get other people to understand it. So if you get an agency, you're still kind of trying to educate them on just understand the tone, the nuance of my industry. Or as a freelancer, it might have been, I wish there was somewhere I could go to easily find someone who can write like I do, who's a solid writer, who I could trust my clients to, so I can grow my business. And again, other versions of that, those questions are blanks to fill in. And so in that time, I really just said, well, how about I create that space? That place where folks in this industry that is so often under-resourced, undervalued, I would argue, but so critical at the same time to a company's success. Because, after all, think about it. We all have to communicate to stakeholders, whether it's our customers, whether it's our employees, whether it's our investors, whether it's the general public. And so everyone depends on these skill sets, often under-resource them, understaff them. And, I really kind of said, I think my value is added at this stage in my career because I do love connecting people. I do love problem solving. And so, I'm going to create this vehicle, if you will, in the form of this marketplace at this stage that will help position professionals in this marketing and communications industry for success, whether they are in a corporate space or whether they have chosen to start their own practice or work in a smaller, more startup or boutique firm. And so that's really why I started it. It started with, when you have a startup, you're always asked, what's the problem you're solving, and what's your solution? And mine came very directly from the problems in a space and in an industry where I had worked on both sides that our marketplace serves. So I knew the challenges and the hurdles that these companies, and again, the companies could be large enterprises. They could be your Fortune 50, Fortune 100 companies. They could also be startups. They could also be nonprofits. But I knew the hurdles that they were having to overcome. And then I also know the challenges of trying to grow a business. And especially when you work in a creative space like ours, there's different parts of your brain, I like to think, that you're using. And so at the end of the day, what we so often want to be doing is the creative work. And we have to get in a headspace for that. And so it's challenging to be thinking about growing a practice that will afford you the lifestyle that you maybe had in your corporate days if you took a leap. And so, again, I really wanted to help facilitate that and position everyone for success within this ecosystem.
I have some experience in recruiting, and I do know that marketing is in demand. For the woman who has a business, but maybe she's not a medium-sized business, she's just growing, and she's tinkering with the idea of needing a marketing professional, but she isn't certain what she needs and what she looks for. Can you help help define that, and also express the difference between your company. Like some people, they can go to, I think it's Upwork, other
Mhm.
places, and just sort of try to find someone, hope to find someone who's skilled, but your business is different because you actually qualify each person that brings their skill sets to you.
Exactly. You know, what really sets us apart is that we, from a lot of other marketplaces that you'll see out there, is that we're vetting our talent. We really have positioned ourselves and know we bring the most value. You know, I'll talk a lot about both sides of our marketplace because that's the unique challenge and opportunity that we have. And we have to always be thinking about both sides of the marketplace. So, for our clients, they can trust that we're helping save them time to get to the right talent, saving costs, saving pain and frustration by knowing that there's been an initial vetting that's taken place.
Yes.
There's a certain level of quality and experience that our freelancers are required to have to come on our platform. In return for the freelancers, the value we bring them is that we're able to connect them with better opportunities. You know, you mentioned Upwork. There's Fiverr, there's others out there where you'll really hear when you talk to freelancers that in order to be competitive, I must charge such low rates because I'm competing maybe with low cost labor overseas, or I'm dealing with people who are very budget conscious. You know, I've heard people say that they were taking projects or they were expected to take projects on where they were gonna get paid like a penny a word. And I just subscribe to that's not sustainable. You know, again, if at our core we're trying to position you to succeed, and maintain the lifestyle and the work environment that best aligns with, you know, your what's most important to you in life, that doesn't align with us. And so I always like to say, you know, there are some, kind of going to your first question, there are going to be some businesses who are maybe at a stage or just their budget will make us not the best solution for them, because simply they can find the help for less in other places. But where we really are able to come in and help folks is really, again, when they understand the investment, when they understand what that return on that investment is going to be, you know, because again, this is work that can quite directly help drive your top line growth in your sales and your revenue, and help you reach your customers in new and compelling ways. And then in other instances for clients, we're helping them with their bottom line because they'll look at it and say, I don't have the budget to hire a full-time employee. So maybe to your example, I'm a startup owner. I'm a very lean team, maybe a team of one, maybe a team of two. And I think that having additional help will help me get into a bit more business. And so I don't want to go hire a person full time and have to pay them a salary, potentially pay their benefits. Instead, I could come use a solution like an Uplevel to bring someone on as I need them. You know, I was talking to someone the other day who was kind of this exact situation. You know, I know to scale my organization the way I want to, I need to hire people, but I'm not fully in that position because I need to get more clients. And so it's really saying, how about you augment your team with what you need most and pay for what you need? And then as you grow your clientele, you get more sales, you're better positioned to then bring on the full-time support and all of that. So we really allow that flexibility again too, to kind of staff and resource in a way that makes most sense for you. But those are things that, you know, we have to juggle. And so one of the ways we're really able to, I think, bring value as well and help people is we look at ourselves as a bit of a thought partner to you, though, to our clients, in terms of thinking about resourcing. So again, to your example and to this real example and conversation I had the other day, it said, you know, we're getting on the phone because I come from this space. I have people on my team who come from this space. So we talk the talk, we know the challenges, and we're really helping you think through a solution. And again, at the end of that, you may not use us to fill those gaps on your team. And we're okay with that because we're still aligned with our mission and our vision to be helpful. Or on the other side of that, we are helping you say, you know, okay, maybe it's a part-time person, or maybe you have this immediate project, fill that now. And you do choose to use us to source. And we're that is the beginning of a longer term engagement with them. So we're really in a position, I think, to add that value versus going somewhere and talking to someone who doesn't talk the talk, who doesn't understand the returns on the investment, and all they're really acting like is just kind of a placement agency or a job board, and tell me exactly what you want, because sometimes we're like, I don't know what I want. And so we really approach it more from, what is the problem you're trying to solve, what does success look like for you, and we help you think through what that end picture needs to look like, and then we determine, are we best to help you execute that, or right now, maybe you're more budget constrained and you do utilize one of these other resources out here. And then, hopefully we will have established the goodwill and the rapport that you'll see, you'll want to work your way to coming and working with us.
I love that. So I can come to you pretty much unknowledgeable. I know I need someone in marketing or communications, but it does seem broad.
Mm-hmm.
You can help me figure it out.
Yes. Because,
Okay.
when I think of my corporate career, I always would say I didn't like jobs where people relied on the communications department to just be simply order takers. That's the thing about this space too, is so many times people think, well, I know exactly what I need. And then you really start talking to them, and you're like, this isn't maybe not the best. That's not exactly what you need to solve the problem that you want to do. So we're also trying to shift perceptions in some ways of how people utilize their marketing and communications resources. And so, yes, the short answer is absolutely. If someone has a business, what I would say in terms of how we qualify our clients, because that is still time and energy that we give to things. And so, the ask is kind of have a sense, one, understand that this is an investment you're making that's going to help you advance your business goals and objectives. Two, be serious about making that commitment to trying to source it. But then from there, for sure, if it's just kind of, I know I need this, but I'm not exactly sure how to write the posting, or I'm not exactly sure what skills I need, we certainly can help you design a solution, conceptually, I'll say. And talk through with you. It's almost like a free consultation. Think of it that way. A free preliminary consultation. But to start, you do at least need to have some idea of, or you need to have a clear idea of what you want to accomplish, and be committed to, really sourcing that talent. But for sure, we do help you think through what that solution might look like.
And just for our business owners out there, I think the key term is that they are vetted. I mean, yes, you can go on the other sites and possibly pay less, but I think if you have to keep paying several people and they're screwing up, they're not giving you the results that you want. By the time you pay 5 or 6 people, you're going to simply save more time, save more energy, more frustration, and just go to someone and pay the right price. Now, you also have, I don't know if it's categories, like they can go to your website and look for the professional and hire them directly through your company on their own at a different interest rate, or work with your team.
Yes, that's a great point and question. So there's really 2 ways that you can engage with us. Anyone can go and sign up in our marketplace today, right now. You can go to uplevelcommunications.io, create an account. There's a button you would click that says, hire talent. You create an account. You can go there, and when we call this our kind of self-service model. Once you have an account, there's 2 things you can do. You can post a project. So you might say, I need a social media consultant or a social media manager. I want to have them part-time. And we take you through a series of prompts. We've really been intentional about trying to build it out in a way that is easy, that is intuitive, and it doesn't take you too long. So I can provide a project description. Here's a little bit of information about my company. Here's what we're looking to accomplish through our social media efforts. I can say I want someone part-time, full-time, an agency, an individual. If I have a budget that I have allocated, I go through these things, and that project then gets posted in our marketplace. And our freelancers are regularly checking it, and we have ways that we notify them of opportunities. We reach out to some directly when new postings come and we think they will be a great fit. And those freelancers can then pitch themselves for those projects. So you'll receive the pitch directly. You can accept it or decline it, which is really just a way of opening up the lines of communication. So if you receive a pitch that is poor quality, because you can tell a lot about it from a pitch, whether someone gets it or it doesn't. And so if it's a poor pitch, you can decline it, and then you don't have to hear from them again. They don't have a way to contact you and all of that. Or you can continue through the vetting process and hire them directly through the platform, pay for your services and collaborate through the platform, chat, schedule video calls through there. You can do all of that. The second thing you can do through our self-service option is you can browse our expert catalog. So you may have, again, the genesis of an idea of what you need. Oh, I think I need somebody who can help me with strategy, but also who has some public relations experience and maybe can do social media. We have a series of filters that help you navigate through, and you can look at the backgrounds of people and you can reach out to them and say, let's just set up some time, and can I talk through some of my challenges or what I'm looking to accomplish? Or maybe you have a potential need that's further down the line, and over your lunch break, you're just browsing the catalog, looking at people's backgrounds, favoriting those that seem like they might be a good fit, so that when you do post a project, you can invite them. So we've really tried to, again, create it to make it intuitive and easy to use, and that's self-service, and anyone can do that. And it's a cost-effective way to engage with us. When we get to the more I'd say white glove premium service that we offer, which is a lot more of that consultative approach. That's what we call our enterprise services. And so, yes, that's, it's what it says. It's much more premium. It's much more hand holding. It's much more, let us do another layer of vetting for you. We know what you need. We know what you're trying to accomplish. So let us shortlist those instead of you having to field, several pitches. We're going to go out. We're going to do the screening and the, going through our community of talent and seeing who's really the best fit for you. And then obviously, you always have to make sure that there's really that right fit. And so we give you 2 to 3 names that you can then interview and see who's the best fit. And as you continue in your engagement together, we continue to be a point of contact to help you at any point. Or if you have another need that arises once that project closes, or while that project is still going on, you can kind of always come back to your account manager and start that process over of brainstorming through, here's what I'm thinking, and they help you work with you to create the best resourcing staffing plan for you.
Okay, so sort of like you have a freelance directory, or you have a staffing agency sort of on
Yeah, that's a good way. Yeah. That's a great way to think of it. The technology at the core of it helps enable us to do all of this with speed and with quality. But we do, I think, again, what makes us different from some of those other marketplaces is we don't rely solely on the technology, because this is still a high touch industry. This is still very relationship driven work. And so an algorithm can't do all of that.
Yeah. And ladies, again, they're vetted.
Yes.
And most of us, we have kids, you have, family, we have a lot that we're juggling, and saving that time is very important. Time is more valuable than money, probably. I don't know.
Absolutely. No, I would agree with that. Again, I started this company when I had a newborn. So she is now going on, she will be 3 in a month, and time is at the top of my mind every single day. Or, right now we're at the top of the year. What are my goals and what are everything? It's how do I save time yet still deliver with quality and excellence? I'm very clear on how I want to deliver, how I want to show up in this world and whatever. And under that, I'm though thinking, how do I do this faster, fast? And I don't have a lot of time to waste, and I would argue that everyone has that challenge. And so how do we help enable you for success, position you for success, given that very real time constraint? Some would argue time is not a real constraint. It's something man-made, but we generally function within a realm of time is finite,
Exactly. Exactly. So Courtney, how would a business owner, company, or a marketing freelancer reach you?
So, if you are a freelancer who has been working in this industry, and you can have been freelancing for some time, or you could be on the thinking about dipping your toe in the water while you still have a 9 to 5. What is required though is that you have proven experience in the space. You can visit www.uplevelcommunications, that's with an S at the end, .io, and you can sign up to create your free profile. It costs nothing to create a profile. You'll be taken through a series of questions for us to get more background information on you. Again, that aligns with what we're doing in terms of around our vetting. Usually within 48 hours, you will get a response on whether you've been approved or not. And once you're approved, you are able to browse through the project opportunities. And as new ones arrive, we will make sure that you know about them. Now, on the other side, on the client side, similar process in that you visit our website, www.uplevelcommunications.io. You can create also a free account, but the client account. So you would say that you want to hire talent, and you can do that at any point and start browsing, or like I said, post a project. What you also could do though, and what I would love to offer to your audience, is that you can email me directly. My email address is Courtney@uplevelcommunications.io. So hopefully that will be published somewhere. But you can email me, and we can schedule some time and start talking about, where, what really your priorities and your goals are right now, and how we can best support you. But if you sign up for your account on the site, you get there's some emails that will automatically come to you also that will include links to book time with me. So it's pretty accessible, but I do want all of the viewers and followers of the Midlife Leap to have direct access to me, because we definitely want to help you to have a successful 2023 and beyond.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Courtney, for joining us. We're going to make some more people very successful out there.
Absolutely. No, thank you again, Sanita, for having me, and all the best to you and to all of your followers.
Thank you.